very good day to you, and welcome to today's episode of Tax Matters. Today we have a guest in the house who is going to be talking about measures that have been put in place in ensuring that the Federal Revenue Service does not just collect taxes, but that in doing so, the rights of the taxpayer and the rights of the general citizenry are protected. Mr. Amawhe is the Director in charge of Internal Affairs Department, and he will be telling us what exactly that means within the context of the Federal Revenue Service. Mr. Amawhe, you are welcome to Tax Matters.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir.
By the way, you are doing a great job.
Thank you very much. We thank you for coming on to the program.
Thank you, sir.
You are head of the Internal Affairs Department.
Yes, sir.
What exactly does that mean?
Okay, Internal Affairs as a department is essentially in charge of internal controls. The department is saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that internal controls around our processes in the field at the head office are working as planned.
What would you consider as your most critical function?
The most critical function here is ensuring that no internal control system collapses anywhere within the service.
What does that mean?
That means that for every function where we have processes and procedures documented, we ensure that the internal controls built around those functions don't fail at all.
Okay.
And I can give you an example, especially where the risk of failure is very high. We ensure that internal controls are monitored as regularly as possible. Take, for example, the collection by banks. You know, of course, that banks collect all our taxes. Monies don't come to any of our offices. Payments are made to the bank. So the question you will ask is, what is the assurance that every payment to the bank gets to the coffers of government? So in ensuring that we give assurance that every money paid by the taxpaying public gets to the coffers of government for developmental purposes, we build very strong internal controls around such functions.
A few weeks ago, the National Assembly was talking about monies being trapped in the banks. I remember that there was a public show of that, know, and some huge amounts were reported to be trapped in the banks. So you have already spoken about controls in ensuring that the banks collect and remit, into the government coffers. What specifically have you put in place to ensure that the banks don't run away with the money as it is?
Okay, we have a whole department, for example, revenue accounting department, that interfaces with the bank very regularly, ensuring that payments made by taxpayers to the banks are remitted to the coffers of government. So revenue accounting is mandated to do that on a regular basis. Beyond that, we also have the pay direct, which the bank uses, to collect money for us, reflected here in our web portal. So it's like the two sides of the same coin. So in other words, there's really no hiding place when it comes to payment to banks and then ensuring that whatever is paid is accounted for. But that is not to say that there are no little loopholes here and there. For example, if a bank goes to monitor money, mop up money from maybe a ministry or a department or agency, and it doesn't pay it directly through the pay direct, of course, it can't reflect here. So to also checkmate that, we have here in-house systems or information system auditors who are part of internal affairs. They go to also use their tools to audit the banks through their system, their pay direct system, so that if there's any hidden game somewhere, it is also unearthed. So in various ways, we ensure that the taxpayers are assured of proper accountability for the monies they pay to FIRS.
What role does the taxpayer have in helping you out here?
Yes.
And helping himself? What I mean is, you have said that money is not collected in any of your offices.
Yes.
So taxpayers pay through the banks, and that has been on for quite some time now.
Yes.
But then the taxpayer goes into a bank, and we still hear talks of like maybe wrong posting. Somebody wants to pay for withholding tax, they key it into the VAT account, or maybe wrong records are inputted into the system. What do you think the taxpayer can do to help himself and help the FIRS?
We encourage taxpayers, first and foremost, once they make payment, insist on getting evidence of payment, what we call e-ticket. Once you make payment, demand it. Mm-hmm. Let no bank teller tell you that, no, we'll come back tomorrow. No, demand it. Mm-hmm. Now, for the MDAs who pay taxes, withholding tax, value-added tax, on behalf of contractors who do business with them, the challenge we have from these MDAs is that most of the time the schedule following the payment is not properly filled. Maybe some information will be missing in the schedule. For example, the address is not properly indicated, or the tax type is not properly stated, or the taxpayer identification number of the contractor is not properly stated. So we educate them from time to time. We have meetings with MBAs to let them know how to fill these details properly, so that when they get to the bank and they make payments seamlessly, it should hit our account. But occasionally you find problems here and there. The MDAs are not filling the columns properly. Sometimes it's the fault of the taxpayer. He doesn't state exactly what this payment is for, and mistakes have been. Tellers also need training, and we run training for bank tellers from time to time. Okay. Revenue accounting does that very regularly. And then we also have sessions with the MDAs on how to go about filling these details properly, so that at the end of the day, we have a seamless tax administration when it gets to payment of taxes by taxpayers or agencies of government.
We are still going to continue talking about the ministries, departments, and agencies. Yeah. There are problems with deductions at source and remittance of such sums. Mm-hmm. But we'll go for a short break. When we come back, that's where we take off from. Don't go away.
It will take for you to clear my container.
I dey do am, Oga. Then say we go bring our team.
Our team? Which team?
Custom don't change, Oga. I never say we.
I want to concern FIRS with my business. I will talk to Gaba myself. You are fired.
Oga.
Oga Gaba, which one be this our team again?
The taxpayer identification number now the only way where you fit take do business with Nigerian Customs Service now. You fit process your own free tin, sharp for any FIRS office.
Soji,
you just sack me, no.
Get our tin now.
This message now from Federal Inland Revenue Service and Nigerian Customs Service.
Welcome back. We are still on to Tax Matters, and our guest is Mr. Amawhe, Director, Internal Affairs Department at the Federal Inland Revenue Service. And he's been talking about risk management, about what in FIRS they call internal affairs, making sure that the rights of the taxpayer and the rights of all of us as citizens of Nigeria who are the beneficiaries of the taxes that the FIRS collects, that those rights are protected. Mr. Amawhe, welcome back to the program.
Yes, thank you.
Before we went on break, we were talking about the MDAs.
Yeah.
The ministries, departments, and agencies of government. Now, situations arise where contractors and service providers do contracts or make supplies to these MDAs. They get paid, but then, in paying them, the FIRS, or let's say the government, insists that withholding tax should be deducted at source, as well as value-added tax. Now, for the contractor or the service provider, the withholding tax is very crucial, because you have always told us that is his money or her money, which he or she will use at the end of the financial year to offset part of the tax liabilities. Yeah. But when they go back to the MDAs, it's a tug of war to get the credit notes. Even your office insists also that you must see evidence that VAT has been deducted at source, even though it's the ministry that is the sufferer or the VAT. What has your department put in place to minimize the problems in that regard?
Well, it's actually a service-wide problem, and various departments or functions are into this. For example, I just off camera told you that we do a lot of monitoring, ensuring that we visit MDAs, look at their contract records, see what contracts have been consummated, what payments have been made, where is the withholding tax, where is the VAT, have you remitted? So we do that. And recently we just did an assignment where we audited about 70-odd MDAs. And we've established some amount, reasonable. I won't give figures, but it's quite substantial. What we do is to ensure that if they don't pay on their own, we refer to Accountant General's office, for example, and they can assist us in ensuring that these payments are deducted as source from their allocation. But beyond that, going forward, through the directive of CBN, there's a process in place now where, as a contractor is paid his money, the tax element is swept automatically to the FIRS account with the CBN. Don't forget that all the MDAs have their accounts, capital accounts with CBN. So there's really no hiding place. As long as CBN is aware that a contractor is being paid, the system will automatically capture the tax element of it, and we get our own tax bit. So going forward, really, the assurance is there that no MDA will have the option of keeping the money if it so chooses, or paying. Now it's no discretion. The money goes straight to the coffers of government, and there's nothing you can do about it. As I speak to you, I think over 100 MDAs have keyed into that facility, which the CBN has said every MDA must key into. Beyond the MDAs, there are also other busy organizations. Take the airlines, for example, who sell tickets to travelers, and it's a huge area of tax revenue. What we have done in recent times is to see how the passengers are flying or are boarding the plane, which means the contract is consummated. The tax element from the ticket purchase is captured and paid directly to the FIRS. So, automatically. So these are some of the things we've put in place. And internal affairs is on top of the monitoring, ensuring that the controls put in place to let this happen are actually in place.
Still going back to the contractors and service providers, before what you described to us earlier takes off,
yes,
we'll go back to the status quo ante.
Yeah, okay.
The withholding tax credit notes that are hanging out there, or the payments that are made even now before that new regime takes off, what can the contractor do to help the FIRS and to help himself? How does he ensure that when monies are deducted from his contract sum, yes, that the money is remitted into government coffers? What can he do?
The first thing the contractor should do as he makes payments is to demand evidence of payment, or if it is paid on behalf
of making payment to him. The man has supplied 100 photocopiers to the Federal Ministry of Justice.
Yes.
They pay him his money, but because of the regulations in place, the Federal Ministry deducts withholding tax and value-added tax.
Yes.
Don't forget that where we started from was, how does a man get his withholding tax credit note? Yes. What can he do? Well, because most times they give him his own money. Now it's even e-payment. It appears in his account, and that's all. But he's aware that withholding tax credit note is due to him, yes, on that transaction. Okay,
the first thing the contractor should do is to go back to the ministry or department or agency to get proof that that deduction had been made to the coffers of government, to the coffers of FIRS. And he ensures that by demanding what we call e-tickets Okay? And if there's evidence that payment indeed has been made, the next thing is, where is the credit note? The good thing now is that credit notes are automated. It's no longer the old manual system of writing credit notes one by one. There are functions, for example, oil and gas, where you can have over 2,000, 3,000 credit notes in a day. So to make life easy for the contractor, we are saying that that process will be automated. In fact, it's been automated. So you pick up your e-credit notes, and then that is what you use to offset your liability. Beyond that, talking about the system as it was before, the question you want to ask is, what about the old credit notes that have been accumulated? I can tell you that last year, Internal Affairs championed that project, where we went to 20 offices, 20 busy offices, including oil and gas, lactas, non-oil, where we tried to mop up credit notes not posted. Some of the problems why they were not posted had to do with the fact that the information on the credit notes were not accurate. For example, you don't even know the year that the contract was executed. You don't even know the taxpayer's address. You don't even know the name is not properly written. All kinds of problems. What we are trying to do now, from the time we ended that project, is to ensure that these credit notes are properly posted to the KCAS, so that indeed what we are calling arrears may even come down by the time we update the taxpayers' records. But the challenge we had with that exercise was the fact that it was difficult to bring all of them at the same time and post. How do you post 900,000 credit notes within a period of 2-3 weeks, for example? So the process is on. So especially as we prepare to go ITAS, to clean up what we had at the manual regime, legacy regime, before we go automation full blast.
You spoke about asking for evidence, like e-ticket.
Yes.
And earlier you had spoken about schedule.
Yes.
We are aware of this.
Yes.
A ministry may have about 20 names on a schedule.
Yes.
So when I go and ask for e-ticket, would they be ready to part with that kind of internal document?
No, they won't part with it. All we are looking for is the assurance that your money has been paid.
Yes.
If it's been paid, the e-ticket will show an amount.
Yes.
Maybe 20 million.
Yes.
Your own contribution in that 20 million may be 5 million, for example.
Yes.
But the MBA should be able to assure you that, okay, this is the evidence of the payment, this is a schedule where your name features.
Are you saying they should give me a copy of that, a photocopy of that, to bring to the FIRS?
They can give you a copy. But you see, that e-ticket is not enough to update your account. What that e-ticket will do for you is to let you demand the credit note that should follow that e-ticket.
Okay. If the e-ticket is not forthcoming, if the credit note is not forthcoming, can I come to the FIRS?
Why not? Any of our offices, for whatever reason, the e-ticket or the credit note is not available, come to any of our offices. We have said that we want to make life easy for taxpayers out there. Don't forget that our motto is that taxpayer is king. And our vision statement says we should offer quality service to taxpayers.
My head is swelling.
In partnership with stakeholders. Stakeholders will be these MDAs, banks, and then ultimately make taxation the pivot of our national development.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, waiting be this.
The deduction now for withholding tax.
Withholding guinea. Look, if you not pay me my correct money today, hey, Munu get me half for.
But madam, should be your company paying income tax.
Yes, that one is enough load for me to carry. Why in I won't come join them again?
You see, withholding tax now advance payment for income tax. So when you do some kind job, like contract, we go remove small from them when we won't pay you.
And when I go contract, I bet tell me another.
No. We must pay the money to FIRS within 30 days, and they go give us withholding tax credit note to take show say you don't pay part of your income tax in advance.
So?
Now to help make the money where you go pay at the end of the year small.
So this withholding tax something, it be like part payment of where
Exactly, madam.
I beg you. Give me my check.
Remember, come collect your credit note.
Withholding tax, now for we own good. FIRS, it pays to pay your tax.
FIRS on the march. The FIRS is working. The Nigerian tax system is working. We are happy to note that the little challenges associated with withholding tax administration, especially the acquisition of withholding tax credit notes, are being addressed. Because of time constraints, the interview with Mr. Amawhe will have to continue next week. And so you have to keep a date with us. Did you hear him say that you are welcome at any of the FIRS offices anytime? Yes, Christina Pius with your guide to FIRS offices. Know your tax office, we call it.
Welcome to Know Your Tax Office. This week, we're taking you to Lagos again. We're taking you to the Onigbogbo and Aguda Micro and Small Taxpayers offices in Lagos. The Onigbogbo Micro and Small Taxpayers office is located at Etiebet's Place, number 21 Mobolaji Bank Anthony Way, Abule Onigbagbo bus stop, Ikeja, Lagos, not too far from the Eko Hospital. Mr. Asin Wogo is the tax controller.
The major neighborhoods that this MOST will cover are Maryland, Shonibara Estate, Onigbogbo Village, Army Cantonment, Ikeja GRA, Police College, Okwebi Village, Olusesu Ojota Phillips Side, Magodo 2, Shangesha, Oregu, Botoways Plaza, Billings Way, Mobolaji Johnson Road, that is Secretariat Road, to Lagos House of Assembly Road, linking Awolowo Road, terminating at the River Valley near Alade Market.
The Aguda Micro and Small Taxpayers office is located at number 16 Kushimo Street, beside Mobile Filling Station, Aguda Surulere, Lagos. Mr. Wada Arome is the tax controller.
The Aguda Micro and Small Tax Office cover extensively fairly large areas in this place. The Itire, Ikate, Ijesatedo, Aguda itself, part of Urile, part of Babs Animashaun, Kilo, Masha, up to part of Mile 2 and Ilasa. Those are the areas that we cover. Typical of any modern tax office, and the instruction on the standard given by FIRS management. We have units that work together to make up a standard tax office.
Thank you, Christina. There you are. The FIRS has offices everywhere in this great country, Nigeria. We thank you most sincerely for spending time with us today on Tax Matters. And we do hope that next week you keep a date with us on this same station, same day of the week, same time of the day. Bye for now.